I think we're live. I think we're live. Hi. Look who I have here. This most beautiful Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. Yeah, are we live? I just want to double check.
Is it working?
Yes, we're live. Hello. Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, who is the creator of, no, it looks like the camera moved a little. I want you to see what's behind me. We have 24 units. This is hysterical. I have to show you how ridiculous this is, you guys. This is so funny. We have like 8 layers of pillows here. I mean, you know, I have to tell you what we're doing to adapt. It's like very Dr. Seussian. But this is all about joy. There's nothing serious going on here. You know, we're here.
Well, look at this pillow. This is what it's all about.
Because we're at Loving Light Regeneration.
Yeah, it's just love.
That's it. That's just love. And you know, really, isn't that the thing? This is the second episode, by the way, of the series about the relationship between the energy enhancement system, which, of course, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael is the genius creator, and we have 24 units here, and emotion, which is, of course, energy and motion. And that's been my gig, my work for decades. And let's start there. Because, you know, my darling husband, who I'm sure is watching, Danny, who co-owns the center with me and also with Gabrielle, you know, he did something so remarkable the other night at dinner. We were having dinner and completely unsolicited, Danny spoke up. And, you know, this is very interesting. First of all, he's a male, because he's a he, because he's Danny. Secondly, he happens to be a Middle Eastern man, right? And, you know, raised in a pretty daunting society, a war zone, yada, yada, yada. And we all come with baggage. Nobody is, you know, none of us are scot-free. And so there he was. It actually moved me. He said in front of Sandra, and we had other, you know, guests there, that he talked about how he used to have so much road rage while he was driving in the car, and this is totally true, believe me. We've been married for 19 years. 19 years, we just celebrated.
It's not like you're not going to, everybody has their stuff.
Everybody has their stuff. And together for 21. So it was so bad, and Sandra knows this now, because Danny admitted it. He said, what did he say? He said it used to be so bad that he would
stop the car and get out.
He would get out of the car. And
again, that's probably programmed from, you know, what he grew up with, what he saw, what he experienced, that whole set of things he came here with.
100%, and that's for all of us, right? And that's really the genesis of this particular discussion, and you know what inspired wanting to talk about. And by the way, I have to tell you though, the happy ending is Danny doesn't have road rage anymore at all, because I would not drive with him. I actually read him the riot act and said, you know what, honey, I'm not going to drive in the car. I will take, you know, I'll Uber, I'll whatever, because for the other person that's in the car, it feels cock-a-poo-poo, right? Yeah. And secondly, you know, you can get shot if you piss somebody off enough. People do carry weapons. Blood pressure through the roof, and, you know, right? So none of it is healthy, this living in the negative programming. So,
but also the anger, and I've had this conversation with so many people, actually. People need to know this, that anger is the most destructive emotion in the body.
Absolutely.
So that's what dis-ease is created out of, and the thing is, you've done it to yourself.
You've done it to yourself.
Nobody's done it to you. And once you get conscious, you'll no longer, you know, if you love yourself, you're just plain not ever going to do that emotion to yourself again. It's like, why bother to be bothered? You can be in peace, you can be in love, you can be in joy. You know.
There's so many options, and the thing is easier said than done. And that's where reprogramming ourselves so that we have more emotional and spiritual consciousness and be the love that we are is where it's, you know, so necessary. So here's what happened. So Danny started doing something that I did not create this. This is thousands of years old. I just reincorporated it. Humming, breathwork, and love consciousness, which I call frumming. Duh, my name's Franny. You gotta coin something, right? And it came to me because our clients, our guests here at Loving Light Regeneration, often they come and they feel obviously fabulous in this environment that Dr. Sandra Michaels created, but then they leave and they get triggered in the car. Somebody cut me off or something happened, and and I've had the worst week, and they come in and their whole system is down because, again, they did it to themselves. We don't do it willingly. So what I did is I asked in meditation for the easiest on-the-go modality that I could offer myself, Danny, of course, and clients and any beloveds. And what came through is I started to hum. I just started to hum. I'm like, why am I humming? Well, then I did some research.
Great science research on changing the neurology. It goes back to the throat singing of the Tibetans. It goes back to the chanting, in the Vedic traditions, and singing lullabies. I mean, self-soothing with lullabies.
Self-soothing, and that's the thing is
it changes the neurology
massively changes your neural pathways. It's the fastest way to make sure your cardiovascular system is calm. It's anti-parasitic, it's antimicrobial, it goes on, and microbial too, just to be a little bit early. But you know what I mean? It goes on and on and on. It is, but
it helps maintain or develop new brain cells.
Yeah, well, look at us. And it's also great for your hair. Oh, wow.
Well, the technology is absolutely fabulous for hair, for sure. But this is all about, this gives people the energy to create change. Yes. To make healthier. Empowerment means making healthier, more intelligent, more informed
conscious
choices.
Yes.
So you can, you could do the old emotions, but why would you do those? If you know what those do to the body, you'd never do those. That caca-poo-poo to yourself.
That caca-poo-poo.
And instead it's
Sandra's got to punctuate tools. You got to get the in. There you go. Tools.
Better tools to choose again.
So that's a great, so why don't people do that? So here's my belief. Most of us, and myself, I've definitely been guilty of it, want to be right. Because we come from a lot of lack. Our well-intentioned, mostly, not always, parental figures, right, can only have so much love to give. Or there's a shortage of love. They're busy, maybe. Or, there's not enough money. So you grow up with this lack. And so what do you want to do? You want to control. I'm right. I know. I'm fine. I'm coming to the EE system. And even though I leave and then, have a screaming argument with my, neighbor and steal their cookies, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? And so that old negative ego stuff blocks us. And it's so silly. So there's Danny. I just want to laud him and say, what a great guy. Because what he did is he started doing this. Breathing and humming. It takes all of 2 seconds. And it's so simple. And we have so many clients here doing it now, like overnight and you name it. Danny and I
teaching it more and more and sharing it. It's such a great modality and tool to use with the technology to help people make those
in tandem.
To do those interventions for themselves, to choose again and go, wait a minute.
Absolutely. And you listen, yoga, genius. Breathwork, genius. All these things great, but what do you do in a pickle in the moment you get that phone call or the text? That is when you want to self-regulate. You want to self-soothe at that moment. It's always just what Sandra did. Breath and let's hum. And you know what a really easy way to, by the way, the Om, I did some research on this, is only an Om because it's easier to hum. Because sometimes just going is hard for people, but if you open your mouth and you Om,
it gets people into that oneness state very quickly.
Into the frequency. Danny does that 3 times every time he's triggered in the car, and whether he's with me driving or not, he's completely calm. It's like being with a new guy. What happened to my Sephardic Israeli husband? Where'd he go? So it is so fast, but it takes reps. Just like going to the gym, it takes practice. And that's the thing. It is really easy, and if we get out of our own way and think, how could humming, Franny? I mean, lay off the bleach a little bit, girlfriend. But there's so much research, and Sandra knows.
Actually really good scientific research on that. Oh. And again, a modality that now you can make healthier, more intelligent, more informed, more loving choices for your own self. Because if you love yourself, you're just not going to do the caca-poo-poo back to yourself again. Because what is behind any and all dis-ease is, it all started from that blockage of the breath. The only way anything ever got stuck in the body, it's the issues in the tissues, but the only way
issues in the tissues.
The only way anything ever got stuck was from the stoppage of breath. Don't want to be here, don't want to deal with, don't want to feel, God's right up, something's wrong.
Right.
And that tension, that repeated tensing is what created the circuit jams.
Yes.
Where you dam the flow, literally.
Yeah.
And the joy is in the flow. That created...
I am so excited that Sandra's sharing this because it's a big deal. My prayer is that I want the whole world to be, because see, I was stuck. I come from a family of division. I'm not going to get into all of our stories.
Oh, the blame and shame game.
Blame, shame, guilt, fear, and I was stuck. So I could have saved so much time and money, which our clients can do, by self-soothing. This information wasn't available. We didn't have the internet, in the 18th century when I was growing up. So, but it's perfect, because I wouldn't be here right now talking to this beautiful woman and you.
Well, so look at all the learning experience, all that created from. I came from mad scientist stuck on mad. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could hear my dad. We grew up on a farm, right? You could hear him yelling down about 2 miles down the road, I think. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
And my mother, literally, mad scientist stuck on mad. But look at how we learn through these experiences.
Always. We are here for the contrast and to expand and to allow in the love. And that's what's so exciting, especially now in the world with everything being revealed, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Things that are bringing us to our knees, and so they should. But this is the time to stay in the love zone as much as we can. So there are ways to, this is kind of like a really good Band-Aid. The breathing and humming, but it works. People say to me, Elke, if you're watching, there's, this lovely German woman who was a jockey for 22 years. She wakes up in the middle of the night with anxiety. She frowns. Before people go to, we have overnights here, 7 nights a week, by the way, just to put a little plug in. And, people, Danny and I come in and we frum with them. So what does that mean? All you do is this. Let's do it together just so they can get punched. We just showed
with
you.
That long, deep breath. You're literally breathing light. No matter where you are, you can breathe light. In here, you're literally breathing photons.
Yes.
Quantums of light to every cell.
Yes.
Because you got to lighten up.
Yes.
It's taking things so damn serious.
We're here for the joy.
That's how we dam the flow. Is
That's right.
Things so damn serious.
Oh, that's so good. That's really good. That's how we dam the flow, by taking things too damn serious.
Stoppage of the breath.
That's right.
And that judgment says, "Judge not" in the Bible, and that's the biggie.
Oh, I love
blame and shame and the blame game and blaming others.
What's so good for that is Ho'oponopono. By the way, if you don't know what that is, look it up. Look up Ho'oponopono. It's beautiful to let go of. So much of this. So there's so many different modalities that are, this isn't the only one frumming, but I will tell you, it is the fastest. And it's a Band-Aid that works in the moment. Now, I have, I lead a lot of workshops and have for a lot of years where, people who have all kinds of PTSD, because I come from inherited PTSD. My parents happen to be survivors, and my journey was out of PTSD into what I coined PTJO, post-traumatic joy overload. Thank you very much. But it took me a while. So we do long form frumming. Why? Because it's breath work, which gets into the fascia where a lot of us
start with the breath always. Live people breathe, dead people don't. That's really biophysics 101.
So glad you did it.
But it is.
It's
live
totally
true.
It's funny because it's true.
And you either
dead
do
people
more
don't
aliveness or you damn the flow. But that breath is that affirmation. Oh yeah, I remember who I am. And you're breathing light.
And belly breathing, as opposed to breathing up here, because you don't want to, stimulate the parasympathetic nerves, the fight or flight. So it's just, Danny calls it belly breathing because it's easier than all the, English, right? Because English is a second language. Belly breath, right up the love, what I call the love trunk, where all the chakras are. But keep it simple in the car or the elevator. You get that phone call. All you do, don't even think about your chakra schmakra. Just belly breath and hum. 3 times, I tell you. And if you're with somebody and you're self-conscious, just tell them, have humming Tourette's, or you can't get love is in the everywhere I look around, whatever. Have a song going. It is.
You can hum songs. That's a good idea.
It's a great one. I always have Love in the Air right there on my noodle. But it is the best frequency for your whole system, And so long form versions of this allow big release. We have people lying on the floor doing, long form. And so what does that do? We have people breathing up the love trunk, even when they're lying down, and humming down. And it releases locked, stressed emotions.
It's vibration. In the cells and through the whole nervous system.
Through the whole nervous system.
And you're literally being aligned by the light, with the light, as the light, and that humming will help shake the shit loose.
That is a scientific,
Deep shift.
definition. Deep shift of shit. But, so it could be intergenerational stuff. You don't even have to think about if you had some trauma as a kid, or it could be stuff you're loosening up that you've been carrying, this baggage that might be blocking you. All of these things, honestly, Sandra, I think are going to be taught in elementary school at some point.
It really needs to be.
It's just like part of cleaning out the pipes. You're cleaning out your system.
That we're not taught to breathe energy into those jammed up parts of ourselves, literally.
And we're not taught that it's actually out of balance not to feel good. We don't have to walk around feeling shame. It's so systemic in our society, and many people, who are hugely successful aren't successful, I've discovered, just because they want to be successful. They're running away from shame that they never, and that's why you see a lot of very happy successful people. You also see a lot of people who are never happy with success. It's not about the success, right? It's about how we feel and allowing in the love and the flow that we are. So, oh my goodness, the symbiosis of doing this emotional work together with Sandra's genius technology is up-leveling people like crazy and saving them time and money so they don't leave here and, then kind of have a shit fit. Okay, you're going to have a shit fit, but then self-soothe, get back into alignment, make it as important as paying your bills, because it is. It's your life.
That breath of life is your life.
The breath of life is your life.
Yeah, and aloha, fill up with that love. It's yummy.
It is yummy.
Really, that's where that term comes from, too. Yum.
Yum. Oh, so you could do an or you could do a yum. I think I'm going to do a yum from now on. That's so nice. I love yum.
Girls want to have fun. We want to be yummy.
Yes.
So it's a great affirmation.
Yeah.
I mean, rather than experiencing something else other than yum.
And when you're in yum, you're not divided. Parts of yourself aren't divided. All the parts of you are in love with the love that we are. I come from division. I don't know if you know this. I think you read my book a while ago, but my family was totally divided. And it was like the War of the Roses, sort of. My dad had I laugh now. It wasn't fun then. And my mom and we 7 kids, right? 2 sides. So the whole divisiveness of society and that there's not enough for everybody doesn't mean you're naive and you give away everything. But for me to learn what love, that we are love, and to remember who I am, and to be able to put the pieces, to allow the pieces to come back together, especially now when there's so much intentional division in the world. I believe more than ever, the more that we're in integrity and love with ourselves, the more that the reflection of that is just going to slip away, because, as below, so above.
Whatever you focus on expands, literally. And it's how we show up. It's not even what we say, it's who we are that affects people. And we're here to share the only thing we really want to share. It's our light, our love, our wisdom, our joy, our happiness, our pleasure.
We're not here to suffer. Suffering is optional.
We have a choice. So let's make more intelligent choices.
I didn't always know that. Believe me, any of you, I know some of you probably read my book or seen my plays or whatever, it has been a journey, but guess what? It has been for all of us, so we need to stop being so mean to ourselves.
Literally. Beating ourselves up with
Craziness, and let ourselves breathe and hum, or do whatever it is that you need to do to get in touch with the love that you are. And then when you come in here, it will be an easier process. If you're eating well, if you're putting good things on your body, you're surrounding yourself with spiritually, emotionally conscious people as much as possible. I know the world is imperfect.
But it is about radical self-love.
Yes.
Loving the part of God under your nose. Otherwise, what are you going to share with anybody? Your pain, your suffering, whatever you focus on, besides that, expands.
Exactly.
And the more, talk about Ho'oponopono, but the more that you're grateful for, the more you get to be grateful for.
Yes,
the
I
more
love that.
blessed you are, the more blessings you get. The more blessed you feel, the more blessed you are.
We are frequency machines. We are frequency, and we're going to, you can do all the affirmations in the world that you want and all of that, stuff. But if we do not do the internal work and the focus inside and out with our emotions, we're magnetic. So we're going to we're going to attract lower frequencies, right? If we don't rise up and allow ourselves to be what it is that we want. And sometimes that means we have to let go of some stuff that no longer serves, and as Sandra says, let that
shift go.
Let that shift go.
But every moment is a divine opportunity to be grateful or not.
Yes.
Every moment.
Every moment.
For the miracles of all of it. I mean, sometimes it's about, oh my God, look how funny how I used to do that.
Yes.
And see it as amusing.
Absolutely. If we can just
funny how I used to be so.
Not
funny how I used to do that dumb shift.
Right. And it's just a story. We believed that story at the time.
Or I was talking to somebody else. You've been there, done it, got the T-shirt. You have to do things to the max to be able to be a true master of it. Grateful for all the learnings. In the letting go, you have full assimilation of all the learnings, all the wisdom. Now what do you want to create?
Yes, onwards and really.
What do you want to create now?
Let's expand.
If we could do all the shift we've done.
Yeah, that's a lot. All those incarnations.
Very creative on this planet. It's a very creative planet. And if we could create all of that, now what do we want to
think
create?
about it? I mean, really.
How about a new heaven, a new earth? I mean,
that's it.
That's what I think.
Absolutely, me too. Heaven, earth, and I believe we have it here. If we can just open up our heart, our love portal, whatever you want to call it, and bring it in, heaven, earth. And this is the time. I believe we signed up for this time. I'm very, very excited.
We've waited a long time for this time on the planet.
Yeah.
It's tipping point where the shift has hit the fan of accelerated evolution, and it's tipping point, but it's everything is being exposed and disclosed. Everything is being brought to light.
Yes.
And so it's time to lighten up.
Yeah.
Because it's also shift or get off the planet.
Yes, and for me and for many of us, I don't know if you have had this experience, but letting go of our old story, it's familiar, and many of us are still stuck in what's familiar, and there's good and bad, light and dark in it. But if we can, sometimes you even get confused. I sure did. Where what was familiar, because there were so many positive benefits to it, perhaps in your case too. I don't know.
Secondary gains, they're called.
Secondary gains, and so you stay with it because it's easy. But you know what? It isn't in the long run, because we're making ourselves sick, and other people by proxy go.
Well, I was going to say, because a lot of what people have done is what I've called, reruns of bad D movies. D for dumb. Love that, yeah. Reruns.
D for dumb.
Keep playing the same story over and over. Let's take a deep breath, and as soon as you find yourself creating something that's a little less than ideal or wonderful or yummy, take that breath.
And let it go. Oh, I like that.
And move the energy in motion. Breathe the energy through every cell, every part of you. Breathe light through every cell, every part of you. Tell every cell to get excited and remember the truth. Because it's the truth that sets us free. It's the truth of who we really are.
And we are love, baby.
We are beings and bodies like we're sons and daughters of God.
You know it.
Holiest high.
Don't forget your worthiness, and really, that is that took me so long to remember. I don't know if you had that too, but
I deserve love.
worthiness.
Powerful affirmation. There's also a book called that about breathing. I Deserve Love by Sandra.
Yes. Oh, right. You mentioned that, Sandra.
Breath work.
Beautiful.
I deserve love, but even
I Deserve Love. If you want to check that out, by Sandra Ray.
Powerful affirmation.
It's so we are all co-creators of this life. You would not have been in your body, born in your body. This is, Franny's opinion. I do have some connections, but you would not be in your body if you weren't worthy. You are loved so much just by the fact that you were born. And that is huge.
To be able to show up on this planet.
This challenging
at this
planet.
particular time.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, because this is like the greatest show on Earth, but I mean, really, the other planets, they're like up there, it's like sports bars. From the Pleiades, check it out. The Pleiades, like we have sports bars here, they're watching what happens on the Insane Asylum planet.
Insane Asylum.
Because this planet is going into light.
Oh yeah, it's so exciting. So really, let's all band together in the light and in the love, be kind to yourself, but get out of your own way. If you feel stuck, listen, I'll tell you this little story, it might help. When I was in 1995, I started to have a lot of success as an actress and a comedian. I got Hollywood involved, good Hollywood, Arthur Hiller, and all this. They came to me. It's a long story. So I was getting sort of famous in Canada, and so what most importantly, it impacted my family. My 86-year-old father sent me a letter of thanks after he was going to sue me for turning our family story into a very successful play and all this sort of thing, and came out publicly with this secret and thanked me for giving him the courage. So I had all of this, most sort of success.
Story. By the way, she has a book called
Confessions of a Jewish Shiksa, but I'm not really promoting it so much. And really,
but it's a great book.
It is a great book. It's a page. It was fifth most popular.
I couldn't put it down. I had it in my bathroom, but
it was a bathroom read. But it's fifth most popular at the Frankfurt Book Fair, said my publisher. But the thing is, it's really, I was addicted to the fact that I had done something that meant, I mean, I worked as a comedian, a little bit film and TV, but not, a lot, but I'd done like a stand-up comedy show across Canada, things like that, yada yada. Nothing I had done had impacted my family so much. And that went from threatening me with lawsuits to thanking me and extended members of our family finding us.
Shame, the blame, all that ways you played that game.
And I said that I was, the other day I said to Sandra, somebody has told me I'm a pattern disruptor. She said, you're a pattern interrupter. And I like that so much better. It's so much kinder. It's so much more closely aligned to love.
Rather than dissing something.
Yeah, dissing. and I don't push against anyway. It's not really my nature, unless you steal my last cookie. But then we'll go there later. So, I was addicted to that level of, my play was getting a ton of press, and I was getting a ton of press, and it was a solo show. And so my family, like extended family members who had been looking for us for 45 years, found me because of this press. So my point is this. It was very hard for me to let go of that success, that story, but I was getting sick. Why? Because it was really, really healing for a while to tell, you're as sick as your secrets and all those old adages are true. It was very, very healing for a while. But then I kept telling the story because people wanted to book it everywhere, seriously. And it wasn't really, I felt obligated because it meant something to people. Because it wasn't just me. This had, long-reaching fingers in many communities. And so I kept doing it, and when it was like ripping off a scab, the wound kept reopening, and so I made myself ill. So that is how I got out of telling the story. Don't wait for yourself to go through that kind of thing. If you're stuck in a story that isn't serving you, and maybe it did, and it served me, I have zero regrets.
Whatever it's taken to get us where we are now.
Absolutely. And when I think of my father, and I have a letter from him, that's the feather in my cap. And you know what I mean? All those things that people told me that I heal generations, like they would come backstage like healers and say, three generations ahead of
past and future.
I didn't even know what that meant
Yeah,
at the
that's
time.
regeneration.
generation. So I did something, but then it was done. It was time to, and so even if you've been like quite successful at whatever you've done, and let's say you're in a marriage or you're in a relationship and you realize, oh my goodness, I'm in this because it is very reminiscent of some of the energy from my childhood that no longer serves. Well, I'm not saying you have to leave the relationship, but let's do some work together and heal and grow and maybe move on. Maybe move on.
Many times I said it's never too late to have a happy childhood or a happy childbirth. It's never too late to have an ecstatic birth. Imagine right now, just imagine, how would your body, how would your life be if your birth and your childhood was totally pleasurable and totally ecstatic, and you only knew your body as pleasure.
Isn't that gorgeous? I do that image in imagination work as well, because we're all in a parallel reality anyway. So once the pain has been, you got it, I understand, let it go. Why don't we go back and look at what Sandra is speaking of, which is what if, right?
And you got to feel it to heal it.
And then reveal the love that we are.
Because you can't let go of something you haven't let yourself have. So that's part of, rather than denial, where people go, I'm fine.
Yes, that's fine. I do a lot of healers, and healers are sometimes
terrible.
Exactly. Like, we teach what we need to learn. Hello, there's a reason that is a well-known saying. It's, and we get a lot of healers in here from A to Z, and they're like, I'm at this and I'm at that. Well, that bless you. That's fabulous. I'm sure you've done so much good in the world. And now perhaps if you're angry and it's kind of visible in the way you look great, you're very buff, but it looks like you maybe have a little anger because you're always complaining, a little bit of a hint, you might want to let that go. If you want to pound a pillar, feel it to heal it and then reveal the love that you are. This is such a gift. And if I had known this, and again, I'm not in any way going, oh, I wish I had known. No. I'm so glad because I learned so much, and that's what we're here. That's what we all signed up for.
Yeah, what a life.
Yeah, all of us.
Like I said, you got to claim it to clear it. I mean, you can't let go of something you haven't let yourself have. So acknowledge it, own it. Own those parts of yourself. Embrace those parts.
Yeah.
And that's part of what you can do with the breath work, the humming, it's about being with all those parts of yourself and breathing love.
And the more you do it, it will get clear to you. Not only are you aligning your chakras while you're doing it. By the way, I offer a lot of free stuff online, and we have private groups too. I have, paid private groups that I do workshops and stuff. But because it's so significant in the world now, I just feel moved to do it. And so if anybody's interested, just text me and I'll put you on the list. Right now I have a waiting list. But the thing is, it's because some people, myself included, I'm not above any of this, by the way. I get triggered, but the thing is, I go right into these techniques that work the quickest. The thing is, as far as not knowing what the emotion might be, that's like the stuck emotion, or you don't have to remember the whole story from if you had childhood.
I like to talk about it's like taking out the garbage. You don't have to stop and sort and analyze. This was from 3 days ago, 3 years ago, 30 years ago, 3 lifetimes ago. You don't have to stop and sort and analyze. Just let it go. In the letting go, anything you need to know is in that. You've already got the benefits of all that shift.
Yes. And I feel it's a real heart opener so that you can allow in, because so many of us have so many walls around our emotions. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to whatever. If you
if you put out, I don't want to feel, all the universe hears is you want to feel that, and you're going to get a whole bunch more of it till you get over it.
But for you to integrate and have some clarity, one thing that I've found with my clients or workshop participants, whatever you want to call it, and family, is if you talk to the inner child part of yourself. It might seem weird. I used to teach this in my Sunday workshops here, the inner child. If you hold yourself, and Sandra and I did this the last time we were together, if you talk to that little boy that's never not going to be there, the little girl in all of us, the little boy in all of us, and you say, I'm there for you when you went through anything you went through, and I love you, and let yourself feel it. You don't have to remember any abuse. Don't have to put yourself through trauma. But if you talk to the child in you, that little child in you is waiting for you still to acknowledge it, to love it. And then you don't have to go, like, it doesn't have to be long, drawn out, dramatic. If you are going to have a little cry or a little scream or laugh your ass off, which is also a release, whatever it is that's stuck in the fascia. And this is used in, allopathic medicine now, breath work. The thing that's different with humming is it soothes you, because straight up breath work has helped so many people, and it's genius. So please don't smoke me. I'm not in any way condemning it. It's just that it's hard on the cardiovascular system, especially if you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes. There are certain contraindications if you're pregnant or whatever, on your moon, all those kinds of things. You know what I mean? But humming with breath work is easy because why? It releases 15 to 24 times more nitrous oxide than, regular nose exhalation from your third eye, which we already talked about is so great. So there's so many easy ways for us to feel better. And you bring that consciousness, that emotional consciousness into Dr. Sandra Rose Michael's genius EESYSTEM, which is what we have here in North Palm Beach at Loving Light Regeneration. Open 7 nights a week for overnight. Okay, so I felt like doing an infomercial. But, this is such a beautiful, beautiful place. And the only reason we open is because, why? I was unwell. I saw gorgeous Sandra's first interview with Jason Circuit, because I said to my husband, Danny, distract me. I'm not going to go to the ER. And I was in a lot of pain. And the next day we flew to Verona, New Jersey, which at that time was one of the 2 places in America that had 24 units.
Oh, with 24 units.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
There were 2, one in Long Beach
that you could go to.
That were public.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know like the Shaws, so I didn't have those connections at the time. Now, a different person. But yeah. So we flew to Verona because I loved Alice. I had an immediate connection. And I love the lady, I can't remember her name, who owns the one in Long Beach too, but we just, it was just that, and we went, and after 2 hours of being in your system, I was 100%. And Danny and I went out for, no apologies, very unhealthy cheesecake, and we looked at each other and we went, what the frick is this? Like, we didn't know. And fast forward, we thought, oh my God, we have to open one of these, because I was well. Danny's tinnitus went away, which we tried everything. I mean, everything under the sun.
We do that a lot.
Oh yeah, we have testimonial here from Bonnie, if you're watching, in New England now, who was here 3 times, and her tinnitus is totally bye-bye. I mean, there's so many. Now, guess how many centers are open now? Just take a while, yes. There are only 2 with 24 units. Guess how many worldwide? And this is not a franchise.
I don't know how many there are with 24, because we were on the phone earlier with one of the 48s.
Oh, this is so exciting. We have
like
a story for you.
6 48s now, I think, globally. Something like that.
So when Sandra's saying 48, she of course means 48 units. You can see behind us a little bit.
Yeah.
These are the beautiful, we have right behind us, there are 6, and we have 24 here because... Now, Sandra, can you say it in your own words, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael? Why? I know the answer, but we have, the head kahuna here. Literally, she's a certified kahuna, Hawaii, but that's a whole other story. So, why do we have 24 units?
Because of how it interfaces better with the DNA. And this is all about bringing the DNA back to its highest potential. The DNA is our God code. But it's the 24 that really relates to the DNA well. 48's double that, and so it's the density of fields is very unique. But all of the systems work, and it's all designed to bring back the 12 strands, to really bring back the 12 strands of the DNA, that latent potential, and it's activating the light at the core of the DNA.
That's it, the light.
Because we are beings and bodies of light. That is the pure science. And the DNA is biophotonic. The DNA holds that divine blueprint.
So beautifully said. And, I read, studied, tell me if this is accurate, that photonic energy is really what's holding us all together. I studied the right thing.
That's true. Cohesive, coherence is a big, big important term. Coherence. Coherence where there's no impedance and there's no distraction. What happens with detrimental and destructive fields is creates this distortions of imbalance. Then it takes all your energy coping with the hostile environment or constant compensation for imbalance is struggle. So this is that 0 point that wants to put everything back to its innate original point of balance. And then you come from that point of peace and love.
Isn't that gorgeous? And Danny and I felt it the second we walked into the Verona, New Jersey, what is it called again?
Yeah, with Jeffrey
Yeah,
Lewis.
yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of their center. It's fabulous. If you're in Verona, New Jersey, check it out. The EESYSTEM there with Jeffrey
people
Lewis
can
and
find
Alice.
that. Yeah, they have 2 centers.
Yeah, that's
Two
right. They just
24
opened
unit
another
centers.
a few months ago.
Yeah, and
Oh, I
you can
really-
go to eesystem.com
Yeah.
or unifiedhealing.com.
With a Y, unified,
UN-
UNIFYD.
UNIFYD, Unified Healing.
Yeah.
And you can search by keyword and stuff there
Yeah.
too. But
Oh,
you'll
it's so
find
easy.
so much more information there
Yeah, there are I have to just say, 440 plus centers now open worldwide.
on Unified.
That's just,
There's over 600 centers worldwide.
Isn't that
in More
amazing?
than 55 countries.
I am so excited and so proud of Dr. Sandra Rosemike. I can't tell you. It's just very exciting to be part of this because we've seen so-called miracles happen here, especially though when people, and for them to hold. You don't want to just get well and then go out there and get triggered. The symbiosis.
You can't keep doing what you've been doing and expect a different result. And even when you've had the energy to make that shift, you want to use that energy to change and quit feeding the old programs. So you want to eat more loving. Do not, it should be common sense to quit paying to poison yourselves. Quit paying to poison yourselves. The sugar's got to go. But that's how people have stayed addicted to abuse. So if somebody else wasn't abusing them, they kept abusing themselves.
And they didn't know better. Because we associate like that soul food, right? With, oh, but I always got sugar on my birthday, or I always got, you know what I mean, or any of those. And so it's difficult. And I do believe much has to do with our energetic and emotional state of mind before we eat.
From outside of
Yes,
self rather than
inside of self. But it's also the, like, here's an interesting one. I don't want to forget to get to Ireland, but I want to say, you know what's so interesting, like on this notice, I read recently that multiple personality, some people who have so-called multiple personality disorder, they can have cancer with one of the personalities and completely not with another. And that is amazing. And that to me speaks to also, it's complex, but the power of story and perspective and frequency. And what are we lined up with? What is our belief system? Do we believe we have to be addicted to being right? Or can it be kind of interesting to go, ooh, I got a little screwy there. That's just, I thought it was good for me all these years because whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the stories that people have told themselves. Yeah. The part of the gift with this technology and the gift of being Kahuna is we share some of those secrets of instant healing, which is as soon as you get the message from higher self, what something's about, no more need for the symptom. I want to share a little story, and this is from the initial clinicals. This back 2001, I think. The initial clinicals, it was here in Miami with the oncologist, and he had a woman come in who had uterine cancer, ovarian, uterine stage 4 radical cancer. Anyway, he had her in the system, and he used to tell people, the less you tell them, the better. Put him in the room and don't let him out for 2 hours. But anyway, she's in the system. I guess he stayed in there with her or something, or maybe you heard what was going on. He explained that it was like she had an exorcism in the room. Wow. Okay, what the history was of that cancer, talk about the issues in the tissues. She had been kidnapped and drugged and gang raped. And so the entities that were attached to all that was what was released. Because the light brings up everything unlike itself to heal.
Absolutely.
And this is a way people have used this for letting go of anything and everything that's out of alignment with your true higher self, highest purpose. And so I had like this exorcism. And with that, there was no more trace of the cancer. amazing.
When was that? Do you know?
It's 2001.
Oh, wow. That is so beautiful.
Yeah. And he didn't put it into the clinicals because he didn't want to jeopardize our technology.
I understand.
Because we cannot make claims. You are not making a medical claim.
Right. Right.
We're talking about energy and motion
Yes.
here, and how the emotions and the old memories, and talk about post-traumatic stress from being repeatedly drugged and
oh my goodness,
horrific stuff. But that's how quick the body wants to heal, because the power that made the body heals the body. And we're doing the double-blind studies here.
Double-blind.
We like quickies.
Well, why? Who wants to suffer? I mean, we're not here for. I think we come in, only part of us, right?
We're sharing things that allow things to be.
There's just part of us here. We still have so much energy.
Rather than making it us, I'm trying to let something go and trying to. I got the stuff from my mother, the stuff from my father, eons worth of stuff. I'm trying to let go. This was a conversation I had with my guides at one point. And what they showed me. I'll just use one of these bracelets. They said, I'm trying to let go. Well, trying doesn't work. It's very trying.
Yoda.
Trying doesn't work. It's very trying. They said, when you reach for what you want,
there you go. Wow.
Everything else is let go of in the process. So focus on what you want, not what you don't want.
Exactly.
Whatever you focus on expands.
Yes. And we don't have to keep checking to see, are we better yet? Are we better yet?
And keep working on yourself. Trying to heal your cancer. What's the body here? It's just stays stuck in that.
It's that energy of lack, because when you're trying, you don't have it yet. But if you let go, as Sandra said, that's just because everything exists anyway in a parallel universe.
And that's that aloha.
Yes, beautiful. Well, that old story of the farmer who plants a seed of corn, and he doesn't plant it and just say, why haven't you grown yet? Why aren't you corn stalk? That works well with clients here sometimes, because they're like, I didn't feel anything different. I don't see anything. Distract yourself with what brings you joy. As you say, reach for something that brings you joy. And, that whole being stuck and watching, and just
be thankful. He who is thankful in all things.
Yes.
All things.
All things. The smallest fingernail.
Thankful.
Can you imagine if you didn't have fingernails? I mean, look at these are beautiful. Can you imagine? Seriously, the littlest of things.
The more you focus on that, the more you get to be thankful.
Yeah.
And it said, he who is thankful in all things shall be made glorious.
Yes.
Well, what a glorious life and time that we can be here in as beautiful sons and daughters of God.
Yes, you are so powerful. Those of us that are reflections out there, we're all each other's reflections of love and light and joy and beauty. I have to tell you, we are sitting on a gold mine. This is the golden age. We really are. This is a gold mine. And and I just got truth bumps, like all my hairs, because this is it. This is it. This is the time that we've all been wanting to reincarnate for. This is my belief as well. And the more that we can just clean up our system so that we are in joy, the more we can allow in more that's coming in all the time to us. Otherwise, it bounces off, and we have the lower frequencies going. It never gets past comes in, like information comes in, comes up the chakras, and it doesn't get past the primitive brain. If we have gunk in here that we're holding on to, this lower frequency, it never gets passed into the higher brain centers, and we cannot know the genius that we're meant to be here. Not all of us have realized. You might be 80 years old, you might be whatever, you might think you're too old, underqualified, overqualified. All of that is nonsense. Everything, and once we clean up our lower frequencies and information, ideas come in, opportunities all of a sudden you would never think would happen. So-called miracles. I mean, look at Anita Morzani's story.
Oh, yeah.
This is another incredible story.
Wonderful story. She was trying to get a hold of me. We did a wonderful Zoom together. Look through technology.
those of you who don't know Anita Moorjani, this beautiful East Indian, powerful woman, this is what we're talking about.
Near-death experience where she came back.
Oh my God, she was
Sharing
gone.
the wisdom.
She had so many cancerous tumors. Her whole family was standing around her in India, basically waiting for her to transition, to pass. We're so much more than our bodies.
Shift happens.
Yes, such an exciting time. And the more we know that, and we know how powerful we are, and we know we're love, and how do it's just reps. Connect to your breath, connect to your love intelligence, connect to humming is one of those ancient things. Oh, and I saw some scientists talking to rocks. I wish I could remember his name. Sasha was interviewing him. Talking to rocks, humming to rocks. And they responded in some kind of computer. No, I haven't smoked anything. They responded in some kind of computer language. My dad used to say, even in his Viennese, accent, even a rock has a soul. It's Yiddish accent, and he was right. Of course, everything does.
Everything is consciousness.
Everything is consciousness.
And fields of consciousness.
But rocks are communicating back from humming. Because humming, the frequency, it's such a beautiful...
It's a Hawaiian tradition as well. It's called pohaku.
Pohaku, look at this, I'm learning. That's so amazing. Pohaku. I wanted to not forget, because what happened when we were just with Sandra is she got a phone call from one of the owners of the EE system in Ireland.
Yeah,
and we can't get into specifics.
Donegal, Ireland.
Donegal, don't you know?
I will be there August 22nd. No, not August. September 22nd.
Beautiful.
There's a big healers conference in Donegal with Manesh, who you heard.
Manesh, who's one of the owners.
And Josephine. Manesh and Josephine. You just
well, I'm just going to say a little bit, because we're not allowed to blow it, but there's some very exciting ultra celebrity action going on there, and it will be known internationally within the next short while.
It's saying within the week there'll be a major press release, so kind of watch the news.
I'm very excited. We are all entitled to this beautiful, this is, the millivoltage in this room is above 70, so disease cannot exist here. That being said, we're not robots. You don't come in here and go, not the old model, the sick model, where you come in and go, give me a pill and make me better. I was, and I'm not above that. I am now. I'm above it. I'm way above it. But years ago, I was addicted to, what was it called? I'm not going to name the name, but it was, I had not just an antacid. I had major
acid reflux.
Thank you. Acid reflux.
Acid reflux.
She's also psychic, not just a genius scientist.
Okay, what you were talking about.
Yeah, major. And I took one of those pills that shall go unnamed every day for a long time, which also had a lot of side effects. Okay, so this is not where we're at.
Sued for those side effects.
There you go. Well, I think I'll just get in there.
Nobody's been drugged to health yet.
Yeah, nobody's been drugged to health. That's right. That's right. Unless you're drugged with love, baby. But this is not necessary. Yes, of course there are times, where you might have a horrible accident, and I love to everyone in peace.
Absolutely.
But if you need a painkiller in short shrift, or all those kinds of things, and I come from a family of ophthalmologists. My dad was an eye surgeon. My eldest sister's retired. Beautiful, genius people. So there are a lot of good allopathic people. We're not saying that, Sandra, and all of that. This is not what this is about, but it's about looking deeper. And why did I have acid reflux? Well, duh, my chakra was blocked because I come from being unable to digest life, from understandably traumatized and terrified parents who survived the Second World War, whatever that was. But anyway.
Yeah, what you were holding on to in your gut, literally.
That's right.
And
had I known...
The things you couldn't stomach.
Right?
Around you, the way you internalize the negativity from around you.
Yeah.
And knot it up inside with it. Yeah. And again, it's that breathing into those parts of yourself and loving those parts and holding yourself in that love embrace.
And the little child
breathe all
in Franny.
God's love. Breathe all God's love through all those parts.
And some people find the word God difficult because it's been used in, shall we say, not so... not the lightest light, but you can call it Goddessa, you can call it the big schnitzel maker in the sky. We're all part of the unified field of love.
Infinite intelligence. How's that?
That's a good one too.
Unlimited
it doesn't matter.
What breathe light. That's easy.
Breathe
energy.
light.
I've worked with many people with the technology that were total atheists. I just tell them breathe energy then.
Yes, that's
fine.
beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant because we can't escape it because we're all part of the good stuff. We can't escape it.
They were
We
major
want to.
atheists. That's fine.
Yeah.
They had talk about issues of being pissed off at the world. They were on dialysis.
Oh.
They managed to get off their dialysis.
Oh. There, and those of you who haven't gone to Unified Healing, UNIFYD healing.com, and check out testimonials, there are so many so-called miracle stories. Listen, I have to give my hats off to, we have some beautiful testimonials here. There's a woman whose name starts with L and 3 letters. I know she doesn't really like being, but she does have a testimonial. If you go to our website, lovinglightregeneration.com, was in a wheelchair for 14 years. She told us, because it's a side effect of some drugs she was put on, she was a big CEO, flew a lot, and could not breathe well in the cabin of planes. So she was put on some drug, and that rendered her ultimately in a wheelchair. 14 years.
Some sort of paralysis.
Yeah. And she had bone-on-bone, a spinal stenosis, tendon damage. And so she was here, I forget exactly how long, but one day, not that long, she thought maybe this will take the edge off. One day, Danny's in here, my husband, in what we call the woo room here at Loving Light Regeneration, and I'm up front, and I said, Danny, I think I see Lee walking in here. She came. But she was not like Charlie Chaplin. Look at my earring, got so excited it fell off at the story. She was walking. We cried with her. I mean, it was beautifully emotional for a good 20 minutes. So she called us so excited, the next day from the grocery store. And this was the first time in so long she didn't have to be in a scooter, an electric scooter while she was buying her groceries. She just was leaning on the shopping cart. It's very important to maintain these things.
It's still a process.
Yes.
Nothing can make you heal. It's still choices. And it's
so well said,
always
Sandra.
a process. Healing is a process. It's like peeling an onion.
That's right.
It's like peeling an onion, and some of the layers, come off easily. Some of the layers are thicker, stickier, and stink more.
Stinky.
Yeah, and so healing is like peeling that onion.
Yeah.
And there's always room for more light, more love somewhere. But also you want to change. Don't keep doing what you've been doing and expect a different result.
Yes.
Change the diet. Eat things that support life. I tell people, tell women, eat like a goddess.
Yes.
Rather than eating like you're in the back of the bus.
That's
Give yourself
right.
the first class upgrade. Put yourself in the first class, go first class, rather than settling for less than ideal.
Oh.
Because the more you settle for less than ideal, the more it will keep you from having your ideal body.
100%.
Or don't put anything into your body that doesn't create an ideal, healthy body.
I love that. We
Number
have
one
to
thing,
pamper
get rid of that
ourselves.
sugar. Get rid of that sugar and the artificial sweeteners even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Sodas.
Oh.
Talk about total addiction to abuse, but that will actually cripple people because it'll pull the calcium out of the bones and create all the joint issues and all those things.
We're hurting ourselves without realizing it because of addictions. Do you know Karen Hilligoss? I don't know if you're watching. She's a beautiful woman, an attorney in Chicago, and she was frumming. She hasn't been to one of these centers yet, but she was frumming, and she wrote she was addicted to soda, and she was extremely depressed in May, I think she said. So she did this, and she was able to feel so much better. It changed her life. Get to an EESYSTEM in Chicago too, Karen, because the combination will just lift you. But it's so true. We have to be kinder to. If there's anything I would say to my younger self, and I say this to all of my workshop participants for decades, is be kinder to yourself. Just be kinder to yourself. Be a little bit more playful, and try to develop a little bit of a case of I don't give a shit-itis, what other people think of me is, because that took me a long time. I was emotionally paralyzed. So I'm not above feeling cuck-poo-poo. That's the thing. I've been through it, Not that my story's any worse than than anyone else. Believe me, it's not that bad in the grand scheme. And again, I don't regret a stitch because look who I'm with and look where I am.
Well, and look at the glorious playmate you have as a partner.
My God.
He's really stepped it up, baby.
Oh, I'm so proud of him.
You know, he's stepping and dancing and
He's
moving
dancing.
and moving.
Danny wouldn't dance with me
He's
in public.
moving and moving
He
with you
literally-
on camera.
On camera. He literally wouldn't dance with me in public. He literally wouldn't. Danny is completely, I am so proud. Look who comes in here. Oh, we've got a, excuse me. What is it? Lower the music? Oh, okay. I'm getting, my producer, Danny McKiley, just stepped in and said, lower the music. Oh, okay. He must have
He
felt
must
us.
have gotten a special request as we were talking about him.
Maybe. I hope you can hear us. Oh gosh, I'm sure we weren't that quiet. It wasn't that loud. But you know, all I have to say is we're in such a blessed time, and let's not wait. I mean, listen, you can wait until the next incarnation to do your thing. But why bother? Why not seize
We're
the
here
moment? What is it, carpe diem, or
Yeah, but
you know?
we're here now. You might as well really be here now.
Yeah,
To
really
enjoy the
settle in.
fullness. And really it's your own journey. It can be called a shamanic journey into the dark parts of self to get to the ecstasy, the joy, the ecstatic states, the love that's really behind it all, or in the behind of it all.
In the behind it of it.
You gotta let go of anybody and everything. You know, any of the ways you ever heard the term asshole used in a derogatory way. Because the body hears every word you ever thought or said and took it all very personal. And so, how about if all the assholes of the world, and especially your own, could be more joyful?
Especially your own.
Be more joyful, be
Embrace-
happier. Because that was that anal retentive stuff. That didn't work
Yes.
well either.
No, the walking around like this. That is, you know, first of all, it looks cock-a-poo-poo, but
But that's how people ended up with, you know,
all of those dis-eases.
real serious issues is the holding patterns in the
And
in the
holding
body, in the
holding
colon.
patterns, literally, in the colon, and holding patterns of behavior that don't serve us, that we may not realize. Like, why is it that I'm not attracting a better partner? Why is it that I keep attracting the same kind of partner? I thought I dealt with that. Well, you may have intellectually, but frequency is everything. And I agree 100% with Sandra. The body hears everything, and the body hears frequency. So you can even say, I told you I love you, but if you obviously don't mean it, the body hears what you mean. The body feels it. The frequency, you know, is really what's most resonant. And that's why I don't really get upset with people at all. Like, every now and then, you might find it hard to believe, but every now and then I let out a good cuss word when I feel like it's necessary. And if it's done with silliness and joy, and it's not to hurt anyone, you know,
No, it's about laughing at yourself.
at yourself.
Because this is a big cosmic comedy.
It is.
Quit taking things so damn serious.
Yeah.
Here. It's really when you really, really look at any of the negativity, it's just silly. It's just silly. It's just like, oh my God, look how well I did it. How many ways, how many times, how many places, with how many people. Oh my God, I was really good at it.
Yes,
Now how do I want to be?
that's right. That's right. Bravo me. Bravo me for being, you know, whatever. That was a really interesting little trauma. Bravo,
When
bravo.
they've done that every which way, now you can be, you had to do it to the max.
That's
You're
right.
True master.
Yes, absolutely. And now let's move on to the next act. You know what I mean? Give yourself a standing ovulation if you still have your aches.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
and
if you don't, that's good too.
And then how do you want to play?
Yes.
Yeah, because, you know, it's a game of life, and we're here to play it to the max.
And it
have
never
fun.
ends. It never
Yeah.
ends. But why wait? Why wait? So, you know, there's so much goodness. You know, if you want to check out, you know, find Energy Enhancement System Center if you want to be in this beautiful, coherent field of energy. If you want to join some of my frumming, you know, I go live many times a week with free stuff. And if you want the private group, text me. I have, you know, paid workshops and stuff, but I'm full right now. But I love you all so much. Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, do you have anything else you'd like to say from your incredible, genius, beautiful, wise self? Yum. Okay, I love that.
Anyway, aloha to everybody. And so that we share, the only thing beyond love is more fully shared love. So, and love is ever expanding, ever growing, it's infinite, and that's what we're sharing here, is those infinite waves of love, so that our light, our love can radiate out to touch the hearts of all beings, to feel more love, because that's what we want to share with the world.
And it feels so good because it comes back at you many times over.
Whatever you send out comes back multiplied, so don't send out anything you don't want to really get to experience. How many of you women have ever gone, don't want a man like that, and then you keep attracting that?
Right. And sometimes it's because we have to let go of some belief system that we have, because we're maybe attracting something without even knowing it. It might be some lack, because we come from perhaps parents that didn't know how to give us a lot of energy, a lot of time, because they had shortage consciousness. They did the best they could. This is not a blame game. And maybe we're holding that in us, that we think it needs to be a struggle in a relationship. It needs to be this.
Yeah, domination issues.
go.
Versus when you're perfect, whole, and complete in yourself, and know that you're perfect, whole, and complete, then you can share a healthy, holy, wholesome relationship.
I mean, these words, I hope you're catching.
Relationship, where you're continually, constantly, consciously re-elating with everything, with everyone within yourself, within yourselves.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for tuning in to our double blonde. What do you call it? Double blonde study?
Yeah, this is our double blonde.
Because those of you who don't know, there's a scientific, experiment called the double bind study. Is it blind? Double blind. But I'm blonde, so I said bind. Double blind study, but we're the double blonde study. I love it. Thank you so much, and
thanks for letting us share.
Just fun.
Some of our silliness.
Just our silliness. And stay tuned for the third episode of the relationship between the energy enhancement system and emotion, which is, of course, just energy, emotion. All right. Thank you for the comments. I see there a lot. And just so much love. If
anyone wants to see me this next weekend, I will be with George Magazine, with Scott McKay, Patriot Street Fighter, in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Ooh.
And then also doing a program next Monday at our center in Little Rock, Arkansas, on that Monday night. I think it's the 12th or something.
Anybody in or near Arkansas, you will have a blast.
Yeah.
And
keep tuned for all the great news coming, like Vet USA, our program for all the veterans to be completely confirmed.
This is amazing. I don't know what you want to share, but oh boy, it's really some exciting big stuff. That's so for our beautiful veterans. We have so many. Love to any of our clients who are vets, especially who are watching. You know who you are. And all right, I'm going to wrap it up. My husband has been very patient. It's been so much fun. All right. Love to everybody. You want to come say hi?
Hi, everybody that's watching, they want to find a center, unifiedhealing.com. Unifiedhealing.com. Go over there. We'll tell you information about any center that you want to find. They are all over the place. All over here, outside of it, all over. Plus, watching those kids, you get 10%.
So much love to everyone. Love from us both. Thank you so much. So much love. Love and light. We love you. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Danny. That was great.
These are my sexy librarian glasses.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. They're just readers. Okay, bye-bye. We love you. And live video, yes.